The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The Pharisees went out and took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. When Jesus realized this, he withdrew from that place. Many people followed him, and he cured them all. But he warned them not to make him known. This was to fulfill what had been spoken through Isaiah the prophet. Behold, my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved in whom I delight. I shall place my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not contend or cry out, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, a smoldering wick he will not quench, until he brings justice to victory, and in his name the Gentiles will hope. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Ulahang weekend kanatong tanan. Our Gospel reading today takes on the so-called servant song, or the servant of the Lord song or hymn in the prophet Isaiah. And what is interestingly part of this hymn is that the anointed one, or the servant of the Lord, also is extending his mercy, his love, his care, his influence to the Gentiles. In fact, there are two times that the Gentiles, the word Gentiles or the nations, the pagans, are actually mentioned in that very hymn. Now, what is so interestingly connected here is this. I know we are all familiar with the Exodus story. I think we're even familiar with the Ten Commandments, that movie, that classic movie, or even that animated version, The Prince of Egypt. But I think most of the time we were not just so aware that the people who went out of Egypt, who were saved by God through Moses, were not only the Israelites. In fact, in today's first reading, it is mentioned a crowd of mixed ancestry went out with him. In other words, the salvation that God had shown for the sake of Israel also affected, or also were the part of this were also the other peoples, the pagans, or those who actually had already started to be touched or to be amazed by what this God has done in the lives of his people. And this is also the very same thing that we are reflecting as Catholics, as Christians, that our mission is not only for our own, for our fellow Christians. We are also sent to influence and to practically bring people outside into the fold. We have this theological terms in the study, missio ad intra, which is from within, and missio ad extra, meaning to say towards the people outside. And so as we continue this Eucharistic celebration, and since today we offer this Mass in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary, today being Saturday, let us constantly hear that particular challenge that our task is not only for our own sakes, for ourselves, but also for everyone, for everybody. And with the help of the Blessed Virgin Mary, we hope to be always like her, the servants, the handmaids, and the handmen of the Lord, about his love to the whole wide world. Amen. Dear sisters and brothers, let us now turn to God, our merciful Father, who never turns his back on the poor and those in need. And so we say, Father of the poor and the weak, have mercy.